Welcome to Cooking with a Hint of Science. I'm Dr. Tina, and today we're going to talk about emulsification. So what is that? Basically, emulsification is the mixing of two ingredients that don't normally mix together and making them stay together. So a common one you probably already know is the mixture of oil and vinegar. They don't mix. As you can see, they're going to separate out here. See the oil going to the top? Pretty quickly, they're separating out. You can see there's tiny little droplets of vinegar within here. And there's a way we can make these two get into a mixture. And one of those ways is simply to mix it, making those little droplets super tiny, and they're going to mix into that oil. So another cooking example of an emulsification is the simple mixture of butter and lemon, like in Hollandaise sauce. So how do you make these two ingredients stick together so they don't separate? Pretty easy. You're going to add what's called an emulsifier, which is simply egg yolks. Now, why does this work? How will these egg yolks hold these two ingredients together? Well, both are going to dissolve into the egg yolk, and the egg yolk is thick enough where it can hold those little droplet particles in place. Now, that doesn't mean it's going to hold there forever. After an hour, you'll see that your Hollandaise sauce will start to separate a bit. But I'm going to show you how to make the Hollandaise sauce so it does stay together and what to do in case it breaks. So, we're going to come over to the stove. I've got a pot of water simmering here, and we're going to make what's called a double boiler. So all we're going to do is simply add a bowl that goes on top of our simmering water, but it's not touching it. So in a second here, we'll start to add the egg yolks and whisk them. Alright, so we've got our water simmering. I've got our 3 egg yolks in a bowl, and we're just going to make a little double boiler by putting the bowl onto the stove here. Now we're going to take our wire whisk and just start to whisk these. As it cooks, you're going to see that the eggs start to thicken up, and that's just what we want. We need the thickened eggs to hold in those little droplets of the water from the lemon and the oil from the butter. So I've got all that prepared, the melted butter, and I've juiced the lemon. So as soon as these eggs thicken up, we're first going to add in the lemon. You always add your watering ingredients to your emulsifier first, and then we'll add in the butter. So first we'll get this nice and thick as it cooks. Now what happens if it gets too hot and it overcooks? You're going to see that the eggs become lumpy. You can still save it. What you do is you simply strain out those lumps, and you're going to add in another egg yolk. Thin it out and keep it cooking. You can see the eggs are thickening up, and how we know is because you can draw a line through the middle there, and they're just starting where the eggs don't run into the center. So we're just about there with the right thickness. All right, that's looking good. So I'm going to remove this from heat. Pull that bowl off. And first we're going to add in that lemon juice, and that's also going to stop the cooking process. All right, so I'm just going to start with 1 teaspoon. We'll get that all whisked in. All right, let's just add a little bit more now. Adding up to about a tablespoon total. Get that whisked in. That whisk makes those little tiny droplets into our egg solution here. All right, looking good. Let's add in that butter. Now the butter really needs to go in slow because the fat droplets have a harder time getting into solution. So we're just going to add a little bit at a time. Get it whisked in. All right, really whisk it, get it in there. Add some more. All right, so when your sauce breaks, what it simply is those two ingredients, the lemon juice and the butter, have separated again. So we're trying to whisk it back into solution to form that sauce. So like we did with the oil and water, you can just stir vigorously, and sometimes that'll fix it. Add in some more butter here. Get it diluted down. All right, so we were able to save the sauce after it broke a little bit there. I would whisk vigorously and then continue to add a little bit more water and then a little bit more butter. And now we've got a nice Hollandaise sauce. So now we're gonna make our California Eggs Benedict. I'm gonna poach some eggs and we're gonna pour this buttery sauce all over it. Now it's time to make our California Eggs Benedict. So I've got our English muffins all ready. I put some spinach down on these buttered muffins. We're just gonna add some California fresh ingredients here. First, I like to add some tomato right on top. Now let's add some avocado. Perfect. And I've just poached these eggs. I'll go right on top there. Ooh, oh no. It's okay, we're gonna eat this right away anyways. So we'll just spoon some of our Hollandaise sauce right on the top of it here. Nice buttery, lemony sauce. Perfect, held together by those egg yolks. And that's it. We're gonna go have breakfast. Thanks for joining me with Cooking with the Hint of Science.